Oh, wait, I need my keys. Dang it. Dang it. Full start. Stay. Stay. Bye, honey. Okay, guys, this sucks. I have to replace the steering rack on my truck again. I just did this. Toyota wants to bill for like 10 or 12 hours or something to do this job because they want to lift the motor. But look at this, I'll show you. So I noticed some oil on the ground there and some oil in the boot. And I pulled back this boot and it just dumped steering fluid all over the place. That boot was absolutely filled. So that tells me that my outer seal on the steering rack is blown. That boot should not be filled at all. Toyota should replace this part for me since I bought it like brand new OEM 6 months ago. They have a 1-year warranty on all OEM parts. That's if they don't see the truck. If they see the truck, they'll blame my tires, they'll blame whatever they can. That's just how Toyota does it. So what I'm gonna do is take it off, drive it in, hopefully they'll replace it. Otherwise, it's like $800 or $900. I need a funnel. Just refilling it right now so that I can get from here to Tyler's house. Tyler has a lift. It's gonna make this job so much easier, but it's still gonna be tough, it's still gonna suck. All right, we're back, man. I feel like I'm here every week doing some sort of project. Tyler's been incredibly helpful. Dude, every time I come over, you got a new piece of equipment. What is this? Jesus.
I don't know, little tiller.
Just a little tiller.
Just a little guy.
Oh man, that's sweet. Don't judge me. These are my guilty pleasure. It's like my bum booze, dude.
Oh, that's it.
It's not that gay.
What is it?
It's cranberry.
Harder, Mike's harder, Deadpool themed.
They're tasty, man. They're good.
Huge.
Yeah, it'll get you weird. We got the truck on the lift. First step is to remove our CBI skid plates so we can gain access to that whole area. I'm really jealous of Tyler right now. He's cruising on his quad and I'm working on my truck. Yes. All right, so this is a problem you guys might not face, but I have this little extension piece on my long travel kit that extends your tie rod and it's not coming off. And it's got like a little flat spot for a wrench that's pretty much rounded off, and so we're using a pipe wrench. Completely stuck. We're gonna try heating this thing up, see if that helps. Either way, I think I need to replace that collar thing. This feels really familiar, Tyler.
It does. We're using the small torch today, though. I don't know if I have much oxygen left.
Oh, yeah!
Little heat.
Heat saves the day.
How long have you been working on that?
A good 45 minutes, probably. Okay, we should really trust the torch. It always seems like a last ditch. Ah!
Hey, that's hot.
Ah! Screw your torch, man. Cool. All right, so this is an inner tie rod puller. This big old green thing. And what it does is it's going to slide over the tie rod, and there's these different size collars that you put inside of there, and they twist the inner tie rods out. Your bolts for your alignment here, and then you can slide this boot off. You can see mine's full of like oil and water because that seal broke. And I think this boot didn't seal up very well. It's got all sorts of nasty gunk in there. Before you can pull this thing off, there's like a little washer that's behind it, and it's bent over these flat portions to try to keep it on. You gotta take a flathead screwdriver and just tap on it and kind of bend it away on either side. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put this shaft onto the end of your wrench, and it's got like this little locking mechanism, and you put it over your inner tie rod after you put your collar on, and the collar is 1 7/16. You're gonna slide her over like that, and then slide this collar down just like that, and then we can go ahead and loosen it. Just gonna be the other way. Man, this side sucks. Ooh. I think I got it though. Popped apart, but yeah. All it takes is like quick pop, and then this guy comes off. We're gonna undo this bolt right here, and that kind of fishes up over into the top there. Now, when Toyota put this in, they put it from the top down. And when I took it out, I cut the top off of it and put it in from the bottom up. That's how you avoid taking the motor out. I wish I could show you guys that process, but I've already done it. I did it a while ago. I'm gonna go have some dinner. I'm gonna go have some dinner with Tyler's family. We'll catch up tomorrow. All right, guys, day 2. This is not necessarily a multi-day project. I've just been super lazy, maybe not lazy, but just busy and time constraints of being a firefighter and a father and a YouTuber and my own personal mechanic all at once. So let's dive into this and get this thing torn out today. That's the goal, just get it out. The steering rack is loose in there now. I just need to take these hoses out, and then I think I'm gonna have to run home to get this special tool to take off the oil filter. That kind of opens up this gap here and will allow me to pull this thing out through this hole. This thing is tough. Really hard to get the camera up in here, but there's 2 hoses that go right on top of this, and you unbolt them. There's a little 12mm bolt that goes right through here. You unbolt those and bring them down, let them drain into something. You kind of see the nipple there, so you take that nipple off, and then you unbolt the other one. Is your steering linkage right here, and it's on like a little spline. You need to push it off and away. I'm super bummed that I forgot this little special tool that you have to use to remove your reusable oil filter cap. I don't know if you guys know, but these 3rd Gen Tacomas use like a paper oil filter that goes inside this weird thing, and you have to use an adapter to take it off. So you got to buy one of those things. I left mine at home. I only live like 5-10 minutes away from here, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like going home and finishing this whole thing tomorrow. Day 3. Everything's loose. It's just loose in there, but we got to get it through this hole. So we took off our differential bracket here. We just kind of let it hang. And now we're going to take off this reusable oil filter cap. It's like a plastic cap, and you need a special tool. Ugh. Okay, so this little guy here was holding us up, I think. Yeah, there it goes. She's free without lifting the motor. All right guys, there it is. This is our rack and pinion, also known as a steering rack or a steering gear. It is free from the truck without having to lift the motor, basically because we disassembled it within the frame and we pulled it out. I'm gonna clean this thing up really good and run it over to Toyota. Hopefully they warranty it out and I can get a new one put in. That sucked. All right, awesome. That was like zero hassle at all. They just took it, so cool. Got a new one. Hopefully this one doesn't fail. Should be fine. So here's our new rack. Don't do that. Thing you should notice is when you're looking at your boots, this boot's a little bit shorter. That's the driver's side is a little bit shorter than the passenger side, and the passenger side sticks out a little bit further than the driver's side. So if you were to even those out, which I think I did last time, then it's off and you're gonna have reduced amount of steering on one side or the other, which I did have. So I'm gonna try to get it in there by keeping this thing perfectly straight. There's also a green line that lines up here that should kind of notify us if it's straight, but see there's one there as well. It's kind of weird. Wonder if it moved already. I think it did. It definitely moved a little bit from pushing it in there. It was hitting that that tie rod and pushed it in. I rotated it back and it's still shorter on this side, longer on this side. So just try to make sure you have a marking there. If not, things can get pretty screwy. Whew! Okay, got it in that hole. I had to push up a little bit on the differential mount there because there's some hoses in the back that are kind of holding it in place. And I'm pretty sure I kind of kept the alignment pretty close to the same, but I want to go make sure that those green lines line up. That way my steering's not off. So now the rack's in place. I'm going to go through and just start reinstalling everything I can, and I will keep you guys updated. It's really hard to get all these angles just because of the lighting and then the really greasy gloves, and I got to get this job done. But hopefully this video is still informative enough for you guys. We're basically just going to put back all the hardware that we removed. Hope that makes sense. So if you're doing this for the first time, make sure you tell your guy at the Toyota parts counter that you need 2 of these bolts. They shouldn't be too much, less than $10. I think it was like $6, because what you're going to do, they're facing this way, and you're going to cut the heads off of them and drop them down through, and then we're going to put them back in from the bottom up. That's how you avoid lifting your motor. That's a big, it's a big time saver. So make sure you get a set of these. Get out of here, B. Wow. Ah, totally off camera. I just frickin' was wrenching, popped off, boom, punched myself right in the face. All I gotta do now is cry, and then I've literally put my blood, sweat, and tears in this project. So this part's important. I'm using a 5/8 socket on this little ratchet to make sure that I get that band clamp that's in there. You guys aren't gonna be able to see it very well, but that thing's gotta be super tight. This one, not so much, but that one on the inside needs to be tight. That's exactly why this failed last time. I just used a little screwdriver. I tightened it down, I got it kind of snug, thought it was good because it doesn't hold any fluid. It doesn't really do anything, it's just a boot. There's no grease in there or anything. So I was like, well, I'll just kind of tighten it on, it's good to go, but no. A bunch of water got in there, sand and grit totally corroded it out, so that's why it failed. So make sure if you do this method where you're taking apart your steering rack, make sure you put it back together right. Don't be like me. Don't do it. All right, guys, I think that's pretty much it for the install. Let's not forget to put some oil in this thing, so let's drop this truck down to the ground and get to oiling her up. Do not forget to put power steering fluid in your truck. I know we just put oil in it. You gotta put power steering fluid in it. Otherwise, you're gonna burn up that pump real quick. Woo! All right, guys, that is pretty much it. Steering is working fine. Seems to be driving kind of straight. Definitely needs an alignment. Hopefully the rack's on even and everything's good to go. I've been rolling around in Dez's Subaru for a bit, and there's no air conditioning in that thing, and it's awful. I gotta fix that. Whew, she doesn't drive very much, so we just kind of left it. But yeah, it's very hot. It's gross. Okay. Cool. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for following me along in this journey. I hope that I'm hoping it's helpful for you guys. It was fun, kind of, I guess. It was not fun, but we got the job done and it was cool, and it always feels so rewarding to get it done.